Howdy there, Chimp Champ. Welcome back to our great manga, where hopefully you are having a fantastic day today. And today, we're looking over my rarest manga in my collection. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Rare manga. I don't know a lot of people who are like, yes, I'm so happy this manga's rare or out of print. Like, I don't meet those types of people. It's just, for me, when I hear like a manga's rare and I have it in my collection and I absolutely love it, it truly saddens me, because like there's so many great stories out there that are in manga, and it's just, you're not gonna be able to find them anywhere or at a good price. I mean, yeah, you can go on eBay and search whatever series you want and find it there, but I mean, $30, $40, $50 for one volume of a book that you may read in like 30 minutes? Like, that doesn't sound like a good, for me, it doesn't sound like a good way to spend your money. As I am a very stingy person when it comes to money, and all these, I promise you, I've not bought at the online prices. I bought these on other spots. Go check out my cheapest places to buy manga video. Yeah, it'll be in the card above, but all these I've found at comic shops and online places. In fact, the majority of these I'm about to show you are from one comic shop, except for one, which I bought online, and a couple of them I have bought online from some of those shoes. I'll let you know if it's not from the comic shop. I'll just say that much. One of my favorite things that comes from the Rarity collection is Royale. I have volumes 1 through 3. I don't have the final 2 because they are stupidly rare, and I wish I could find them, but like they're impossible to find. But Battle Royale volumes 1 through 3, Ultimate Edition. This concludes the first 3 volumes of the series, and man, oh man, it is amazing in all the wrong reasons. A bunch of little kids go and try to kill each other. It's a really, really messed up story with a lot of gore, a lot of violence, and a lot of fun. It's just fun. Like, I can't explain it besides that. Like, you read this and you're like, dang, these kids are all screwed up in the head. Or like, let's see, like this. Like, all the kids are either screwed up in the head or they're dealing with a lot of problems and they don't want to be there. It's really sad and really awful. And as awful as the series is, like, it makes me happy that, I'm nowhere near in these kid situations. Because, like, oh my god, the later volumes, it gets awful. Artwork's freaking gorgeous. The story's good. The story's good. But, like, I'm not reading this for the story. I'm being honest with you. The story is bare minimum plot, what's needed for this type of series. But one of the greatest things about the story, though, is the fact that there's, I believe, like 40 characters in it. And somehow, every single one has some kind of backstory to them. And it's done really well. And I really appreciate that. Another thing about Battle Royale is this is a series you're not going to find anywhere else. There isn't a series that's like Battle Royale that you're going to find. There are some series that do the whole, like, stranded on an island where people are fighting to the death. But, like, this is the original. This is what started it. Like Hunger Games. This is what started it. This was originally a book before it got translated into a manga, and it's just really freaking great. And is, like I said, the originator of the whole battle royale genre. Freaking crazy, right? And it's a very important piece, in my opinion, of like pop culture history, because without this, a lot of stuff wouldn't be here. And I really do appreciate the story and the characters, and it's just so much fun. Of course, it's a battle royale thing, so if you enjoy a character, they're gonna die. I almost guarantee it, they're gonna die. And that's always super freaking sad. When you're reading a book, you're like, oh, I love this character, and he just dies, you're like, I should have saw that coming, but like, dang nabbit, it still hurts. And Battle Royale's great at that. I love Battle Royale. I would say check it out if it wasn't expensive as crud online, but if you can read it online, legally, which you can't, so you're probably going to have to read it illegally, which you should never, ever read illegally. Never, ever read scans. That's disgusting. Ew, gross. People... can you imagine if people read this on, like, mangalo.com or mangadex.com? Like, oh my goodness. People who uses those websites that I have never used before and am not giving you a suggestion to find the series on. It's just, I couldn't imagine someone watching it or reading it on the websites. Another one we got is I have the almost full collection of Beck Mongolian Chop Squad in English, volumes 1 to 10. Majority of this was found at the comic shop. And I'm really happy it was. I was not expecting to like this series. I picked it up mainly because I just thought, I needed a book at the time, and they were selling the first 5 volumes for $20. You're gonna hear a lot of like cheap stuff from when I talk about the comic shop. It's like $20. So I was like, fine, I'll read it. It's probably good. Right? It's probably good. And I picked it up, and like I was like, oh my goodness, this is freaking amazing. And it is my 4th favorite series of all time at the moment. And I wish so badly that Beck Mongolian Chop Squad could get reprinted, because like we only got the first 12 volumes in English out of like 30 something volumes, so we're missing a lot in English in physical format. And it makes it really sad because I love this story to death, and I have a hard time reading online. So I really wish this was like in print and like still going, but it's not. It's in Kodansha Amazon Prime jail. Luckily, unlike Battle Royale, which does not have a legal way to read it, and you'll have to like succumb to like the illegal websites that I would never condone using, MangaDex and Mangalo. This does actually have a legal way to read this. This is in Kodansha Amazon Prime jail. So pretty much you can read the whole series of Beck Mongolian Chop Squad on Amazon Prime, and it's freaking amazing. But like I said, it's on, like you have to have a Kindle, and that's that has some restrictions on it. But if that's the only way you can read this amazing series, then I absolutely recommend it. This series is freaking amazing. And you're gonna hear that a lot with a lot of these series. Like, these are all really great series that it makes me really sad that they didn't get finished in English, or they don't have more stuff coming out for them, or are stuck in like purgatory where they're not coming out anymore. Another one I want to talk about is I have volumes of Initial D, volumes 1 through 20. And I believe volume 20 is probably the rarest out of all of them. Found at the comic shop again. I paid $80 for all 20 volumes. Yeah. Check your local comic shops. You will maybe find some manga at that price. I definitely recommend checking comic shops, because if you're going to find rare manga, it's going to be at comic shops. Usually comic shops that have been there for a very, very long time. You can also try hobby shops. You may find them there. But this is Initial D Volume 20. They actually had more volumes. They had more volumes of this. And I was going to buy some more of it after I finished Volumes 1 through 20. But I didn't. And you may be like, why? And that's because I feel like the series takes a big significant drop after about Volume 17. And in Volume 17, no spoilers, some character arcs get wrapped up. And it feels like a nice conclusion to the story. But it keeps going. And it goes into this whole Project D stuff where he becomes like a professional street racer. And for me, I lost what I loved about the series the most, which was about the characters. The villains and the antagonists, start becoming a lot less interesting and fun as the originals. And that makes me really sad, because I really, really loved Initial D up to Volume 17. Like, no joke, Initial D was one of my favorite series of all time until about Volume 17. They just, like, tanked it. And, if you like street racing, then you're going to love the Initial D past Volume 17. But, like, I'm not a big fan of street racing that much, so I really don't care about it. Another thing I had to say is, holy crap. So, the artwork's gorgeous. Especially the longer the series goes, it gets freaking gorgeous. Comparing this to, like, Volume 1 is, like, it's like night and day. But it's really freaking great. If you don't like street racing, though, I would still absolutely recommend Initial D, especially up to Volumes 1 through 17. 1 through 17 is, like, it's amazing. It's actually amazing. And is one of my favorite series of all time up to that point. You should not sleep on Initial D just because if you don't like racing, right? I recommend this series up to Volume 17. After that, though, I would say you have to be a hardcore, like, racing fan to enjoy it. But luckily, this is in the same section as Beck Mongolian Chop Squad with Kodansha, Amazon Prime Purgatory. You can read all 44 volumes on Amazon Prime for free, and I do recommend trying it out. Sadly, like Beck Mongolian Chop Squad, it was not finished in English. It got up to about Volume 33, and then it just dropped, which makes me sad because I know some people would have loved to have the whole series complete in English, but that didn't happen. So we have volumes 1 through 33 in English. And for me, after I hit about volume 20, I was satisfied with what I had. And if I'm really craving some more, I'll head back and grab some more. But as of right now, I'm happy with what I had. Another rare volume I got is Hellsing, Volume 8. I am eventually going to sell this volume because I want to get the deluxe editions. This volume I bought at a video game store of all places for $5. And I wanted to try out Hellsing, and I tried it, and I freaking loved it. I'm like, alright, I'm going to buy the deluxe editions, since they're like $25 each online, which is stupidly cheap. So I'm like, I'm going to buy them online, but I just haven't done that yet, because I have a couple things I need to finish first, like One Piece and Love is War, and those are like on my top list. So it's going to eventually get completed, but for right now, I have this volume. I will probably give it away to someone, or sell it online. I don't know yet. I'll figure it out later, though. And then finally, this is like what I would consider the rarest thing in my collection. This is like my favorite thing in my collection, by the way. I would never, ever sell these volumes. This series has such a soft spot in my heart. I could not get rid of them. And that's Great Teacher Onizuka. Sadly, I do not have the complete series of this. I have 12 volumes, and they're all just kind of spread out. But man, I love GTO so freaking much, and it makes me incredibly, incredibly sad that so many people will not be able to enjoy the series physically and legally. I'm doing another plug for Amazon Prime. Sadly, you cannot read the series on Amazon Prime, but they have the original GTO, the anime, for free on Amazon Prime. You can watch the whole series and love the series that I fell in love with, and I absolutely recommend it. This is my third favorite manga of all time, and should not be slept on. And you can also watch it for free on YouTube. But yeah, it makes me sad that, you know, a lot of people aren't going to be able to read these series. And because, like I said, GTO literally changed my life. It literally did. It made me learn to respect myself more and do me for me, rather than dealing with others and like becoming too selfless and whatnot. And, you know, like I said, GTO taught me a lot of life lessons, and I greatly appreciate the series for that. If you want a more cheaper version of GTO, you can pick up the majority of 14 Days in Shonen for about MSRP, except for volumes 1 and 3. You could try that. You could also try picking up the first volume of GTO, The Early Years. You can buy the first volume easily for like $6 online, and I recommend it. Even though I have not read it yet, I've heard amazing things about it, but I do recommend it because I'm going to get it eventually, and I'm going to love it. But that series is also really rare now to print, except for like the first couple volumes. So I would try it out, see what you think, and hopefully you'll love the series as much as I do. And with that, my friend, those are my rarest volumes of manga that I have. So yeah, what are your rarest mangas that you have? I would love to hear your opinion on that. And if you have a YouTube video, just put it in the comments below. I'll watch it, I'll comment on it. And I would love to see what your rarest manga is. And with that, my friend, thank you for watching. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my beautiful, beautiful Chip Champs. And as always, go out there and read some manga, my friend.